All right, everybody, welcome back to All We Do Is Talk. Isaiah here, ready to talk some English Premier League, maybe some other European countries, football leagues after, but mainly English Premier League. Let's get it. I'm excited. Arsenal already has played today, got the job done against Crystal Palace. Just going to give you some of my predictions, and let's get it. So, I'm going to start from the bottom and make my way up to the top because I've got an interesting prediction for the winner of the Premier League this season. So, for my three relegation teams, I'm going with Bournemouth, Fulham, and my surprise team that isn't one of the due teams, Southampton. I think those are the three weakest teams in the league. I know for sure Bournemouth is. Fulham, maybe they'll fight a little bit more. And I have Southampton fighting with Nottingham Forest and Brentford for that last relegation spot. I think Southampton didn't do much this transfer window to strengthen their team. I know they've got Ward Prowse to stay, but I think they go down, and I think he's looking to dip out to a new team come next summer. So those are the teams I've got going down. And so for some of my underachievers that I've got at the second half of the table, I think Leicester, they didn't do nothing this transfer window as of right now. I think they're going to be in the second half. I've got them at 11th. And I also think Wolves are going to struggle this year. We know they've got the injury to their striker, whose name Jimenez, and I just think also Brighton, after losing Cucurella and Basuma this prior transfer window, I also think those are the three teams that underperform: Leicester, Wolves, Brighton. So I think those three teams that usually are on this upper echelon of the table will be in the second half of the table. Teams that I think are going to overperform clearly are going to be Leeds. I think Jesse Marsch did a good job coming in last year. The American, he went and got two more American players, Tyler Adams, Erison. I know they lost Rafinha and Calvin Phillips, two of their better players, but I think his coaching, his system, and the players he brought in are going to be great, and I think they'll be 10th. I think they'll finish in the top half. I think Aston Villa, who did really good once Steven Gerrard took over last year, will be fine. And the easy overachiever, Newcastle, they've got the new ownership. They were amazing. They were a top 4 team the second half of the year last season. And they're getting Trippier back. He brings good veteran leadership. And I think Bruno Guimaraes is one of the top 10 players in the EPL by the end of this season. He was amazing. He's going to be a great player. So I might as well. So I have at 8 Newcastle, Aston Villa at 9, Leeds at 10. Those are rounding out my teams that miss out on European competition. After that, so my first team that I've got finishing at 7th for the Europa Conference League is West Ham. They recently waited till this week to do some work. They got Cornet, former Premier League team, Burnley. They got him to get joined on, and I just think they got Declan Rice to stay. I think they've got something with Bowen up front. I think they got a decent team, some good coaching. So I got West Ham 7. And I've got the big 6 occupying the 6 spots. I've got Man U at 6 because I think they're the worst team. They've got the most turmoil going on. Ronaldo's probably going to have to leave out. New coach, a lot of young players, a lot of questionable transfers recently that haven't worked out. I like the coach. I like where they could be going based on their preseason. I just think that Ronaldo situation and Man U, if they get off to a slow start, it'll be a tough year. At 5, I've got Arsenal, barely behind Chelsea. I know I support Chelsea. I think Arsenal did better work in the transfer market this year. I just think Chelsea's a more veteran team, better coaching. Give me a Thomas Tuchel over Arteta, even though I think Thomas Tuchel is terrible at player management. I think his system is good. They'll be good. Chelsea will be solid defensively. Although I wanted Lewandowski, Rafinha, and Coudet, they have to settle for K2. They got Cucurella today officially, and they've got Sterling. I think that's enough. I think big season from Mason Mount and Kai Havertz, who I think take over finally and prove to be the best players on this team and the leaders of this team. Interesting to see what they do with Jorginho and Conte, because they're aging, but I think those guys will be able to get some more stuff some more juice out of them, and they're getting back hopefully a fully healthy season from Reece James and Chile on the other side. And I'm interested to see what they do with Cucurella. He will probably be a left-sided center back in the back three, but I don't really know whether they're going to play him if Chilwell is healthy. As for Arsenal, saw them today. They looked great. I'm not very high on the Jesus signing, and Zinchenko's good. They got, like Chelsea, getting Sterling. They got a couple Man City rejects. I don't really know how well that bodes for making your team better, but it does. But I don't know how much better, because if Man City thought those players were untouchable and must-haves, they'd still be at Man City. So I'm disappointed with the work Chelsea did, but I think their veteran leadership and their coaching gets them into the top four barely. At 3, I have Liverpool, who I think will miss Sadio Mane's presence, and I think it'll take a little time for them to get Nunez up and going, running and in the system. I know it's tough. Liverpool is one of the best teams in the world. I just think the two teams in front of them, I'm higher on the two teams in front of them. And so when I'm surprisingly going with Tottenham to win the Premier League this year. They're my prediction. I truly believe they did the best work during the transfer market. Basuma in the middle is going to be good next to Bentancur or Højbjerg. They also got Perisic to play wingback, and they've got Jet Spence. I think they did the best work by far, and they did the best work in the wintertime transfer market as well. So I'm picking Tottenham to edge out Man City. I think Man City's Man City. I think Haaland's going to be great, but I believe in Antonio Conte, and I think the World Cup will allow the lesser teams in the table to snag some wins off of those tough teams, and that will help bring Man City and Liverpool back down to the other level of the other players because of that craziness of a Winter World Cup. And so I know it's bold. I've actually bet it. I've got Tottenham winning the Premier League barely because of probably some fluke injuries to Man City and Liverpool. And I think Richarlison is one of the best signings. I didn't even mention it. I thought he was, of the Richarlison, Sterling, Jesus signing, I think Richarlison will have the best impact because he's going to be depth and rotation. He'll keep Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, and Kulusevski fresh as they rotate through this season along with Champions League. It's bold. I know Tottenham's not known to win anything. I just like the coach, like the work they've been doing in the transfer market. You could come back and laugh at me in a couple months if they fall off, but I'm going Tottenham 1, Man City 2, Liverpool 3, Chelsea 4. So those are your teams that I believe will get the Champions League spots, and Arsenal and Man U get the Europa League spots, and West Ham settles for the Europa League Conference, whatever the new one that they're calling it. For lead Golden Boot winner, I'm going to go with Harry Kane, but I could also see Son winning it. I think one of the Chelsea players up front, whoever stays the most healthiest, the most informed, will win it. 25 goals from one of those guys, I guarantee it. As for the leading playmaker and assist getter, I'm going to go with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Could have gone with Salah here, could have gone with Kane or Son, but I'm going to go with Trent. I think he'll stay the healthiest, and he's the best offensive fullback in the world. So I'm going to go with him. As for leader in clean sheets, I'm going to go with Ederson because I just believe Man City is one of the best defensive teams. I also believe he won it last year, and he's won it 3 of the last 4 years, or split it a couple of times with Alisson. I think Ederson is the second best keeper, maybe third, but I think he edges out Mendy because I think Chelsea will be very defensive this year, and I just think Ederson he's got the best back four protecting him. We'll see. There's some injuries there to start the season for Man City, but I'd have Mendy as my second option if I didn't pick Ederson. So that's it for the Premier League. As for around the other European leagues, I'm going to knock out the two easy ones. PSG wins Ligue 1. Bayern win Bundesliga. Nothing more to say there. For Serie A, I think Juve takes back the crown with Valish, with their new striker up front in a full season. They've got Pogba back. They've got Di Maria. I think Juve takes back the Serie A title. And as for La Liga, I think Barcelona did amazing work this year. I'm going to go with Barcelona to win La Liga. Big season for Robert Lewandowski, like always. I think he destroys that league, and he is my pick for the Ballon d'Or for the upcoming season. We all know Karim Benzema will probably win it this year, but I'm going to go with Robert Lewandowski as the Ballon d'Or winner for this season starting now. So basically, I'm going for the big five leagues in Europe. I'm going to take Spurs recklessly, stupidly maybe, PSG, Bayern, Juve, Barcelona. I will be back periodically throughout the season, especially when the Champions League kicks off. But thanks for joining me. Remember, like, share, comment, subscribe, interact. I'll catch y'all next time.